Now in the double bonus, as Dominique Kelley with 9.2 seconds, Huskers lead by 1, will have 2 free throws attempts. First free throw on the way by Kelley is up and good.
Perfect. I mean, her free throws aren't, bouncing around and going, no, they're perfect. Back of the net, perfect spotted. And that's, being with the Huskers for 4 years. She practices every day on free throws. She shoots around on days they don't have practice. I can't say enough good things about Dominique Kelley because of what she does. This is obviously hard work when you can continue to make your free throws.
Second free throw on the way by Kelley is up and good. So with 9.2 left here in the second half, Huskers lead by 3.
Senior guard for the Nebraska Cornhuskers women's basketball team, Dominique Kelley, let me follow her around a couple of weeks ago. Kind of show me the glitz and glamour that is being an athlete here at Nebraska. Or at least the glitz and glamour that most of us seem to think follows being an athlete, something that might not be fully true.
I think a prime example would have been Tuesday. Tuesday and Thursdays are my only days to sleep in, but this past Tuesday I had a game, so I woke up and went to rehab at 7:30. I don't have class till 9:30, so that's extremely early. And then after I went to rehab, I had class until 10:45. After class, I grabbed lunch really fast, went back to rehab to ice, and then I had class from 11:30 to 12:20, and then class again at 1:30 to 4:20. I missed shoot around, so I went into the gym a little bit in between that class time after rehab, and got a couple shots up before the game, and then I had a game that night, so I didn't get done till about 9:30, and then I had a paper. On top of everything else that I didn't have a chance to get to, so I had to write that paper, and that took me till about 11:45. So that's a typical day. There's not very much free time to do anything else except for tend to your academics and basketball, and by the time you get done doing those two things, you're exhausted.
Well, this has become a typical day in the life of Dominique Kelley. She seems to think it's worth it. She loves basketball, she loves school, and she loves her friends. And even through those long days, she's still become a bit of a leader for the Cornhuskers basketball team. Her head coach, Connie Yorrie, is one of these people that seems to think she's a leader.
Well, she was a good leader last year for us, and she has been a good leader really throughout her career. And, that's continued to develop since she's been here. And, last year she was one of our better leaders, and we had a lot of good leaders, but she was one of them. And so now she's got to take on even a greater role in that area, and because we just don't have as many players with the experience. And generally you're going to get your leadership out of kids that have experience and have been there and have done it. And she definitely has done a good job of even while she was hurt in the fall. She just came back from injury really 2 weeks ago, and even before she was hurt, or as she was hurt, she was doing a good job of trying to lead as best she can.
Coach Yorrie isn't the only one that thinks Dominique is a leader. Fellow guard Lindsey Moore would agree that Dominique is in fact a leader, a good leader at that.
Does what she can to win, so definitely just seeing that, and that kind of just goes in with her leadership. People can look up to her and be like, you know what, if Neek's like, okay, we got this, and we got this, it's not going to be anything to stress about or anything like that. It's going to be a confidence thing for us.
One of the ways that Neek has proven that she is a leader is hitting clutch free throws. She's done it throughout the year. One of the big games that she hit big-time free throws was against St. Mary's. With her team up 1 point, she got the ball and was fouled 3 times, making all 6 of her free throws to win the game for the Huskers. A game that happened to be on her 22nd birthday, and she put 22 points up. The fact she made those free throws doesn't surprise her coach.
She's a pretty good free throw shooter. She's got good form, but also she's confident, and on top of it, she's been in that situation a lot. And so she's a senior, and she has been there. She's done it. She's made big free throws before, and so we naturally want to get the ball to her.
It also doesn't surprise teammate and fellow guard Caitlin Burke.
That's the perfect situation for her. The game's on the line. We need her to hit shots, and she's going to knock them down. We all knew that she was going to do it. She knew she was going to do it.
One of the things I noticed from following around Neek for the day, from the rehab room all the way to just shooting around, was that there was a toughness and a want to win, something that Coach Yorrie also sees.
Neek's got a toughness, a mental toughness about her, and a competitiveness that not all players have, and that makes her, she's got a real will to win.
That mental toughness really was put to test this year. Neek faced her first injury. She injured her left knee while racing teammate Jordan Hooper. It was just a fun race, but it ended badly for Neek when she heard a pop in her left knee. She had to have some cartilage removed off her knee, and since that point, it's taken her a while to get back to the level she wants to be at.
It's been tough because, I missed out on going through all of those adverse times in preseason and conditioning with them when you're dying and you don't want to fight through it. I've missed out on all of that. Not to mention that now I'm physically out of shape and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things and be that leader and be that person who scores all those points and doing all of those other things. So it's been definitely a challenge.
Teammate Caitlin Burke also had a knee injury that she had to come back from, and Nick and Burke both kind of had to work together in coming back from that. And Burke even talks about how they had a motto to come back from their injuries.
She goes, we should be team focused. And I was like, yeah, like that's a great idea, because we were just focused at just making sure that both of us were, if one of us was having a bad day, the other one was going to pick them up. And we just decided that the two of us were just going to be focused to get healthy, be able to play, and to be able to help our team. Even when we weren't playing, we wanted to make sure that we were there for our teammates and helping them.
Even with the frustration from the injury, Nick was still herself, still her goofy self, according to teammates Moore and Burke.
She's a clown, but just super fun to be around, really.
She can make light to kind of any situation. She's gonna, if someone's having a bad day or someone's, a little down on themselves, she can pick them up with either a joke or a comment or just any little thing. She's just always there for you, and I think that's something that is a great quality to have, and not a lot of people do have.
The injuries have taken a toll on Nick, and she now knows that her future doesn't really include playing basketball, especially at the WNBA level, but that doesn't mean basketball will be completely out of her life.
I definitely want to coach at the collegiate level, and I think that's going to help me stay connected to the game of basketball, and I like making lifelong connections with people. I'm a very personable individual. So I think, from the coaching perspective, I'll still be really connected to the game, and that's really what I want to do.
This is most likely Nick's last year of playing competitive basketball, but that doesn't mean Nick doesn't have a bright future. Still a journalism major, and still hoping to coach in the future, she also is about to get married.
We went to the Dish, which is where we had our first date at, and when I walk in, I kind of naturally get the, oh, there's Dominique Kelley type response, and we noticed that from a lot of people. I wasn't expecting it because, like I said, he's very private into himself anyway. But we sit down and we have a really nice dinner, and things are a little bit different. He pre-orders the food and a really nice glass of wine, which I felt bad for him because it's still sitting in my refrigerator right now. But he gets down on one knee and gets all serious, and all these people are like pointing at me like, oh, she's about to get engaged, like Dominique Kelley's getting engaged. Like, you can just see people uttering all these words out of their mouth.
Dominique Kelley might not be playing basketball in her future, but she will hear wedding bells. For NewsNet Nebraska, I'm Ryan Penny reporting.